Good day, everyone, and welcome to the Deep End Podcast. This is Zar.
This is John,
And this is AJ.
and today, we're gonna talk about some of the most common yet mysterious yet alluring topics when it comes to this side of the spectrum, which are ghosts. So, there are a lot of explanations on what ghosts are. Some of them are scientific. They say that these are memory imprints from people who have lived before. These are like ectoplasmic, quote unquote, energies. By ectoplasmic, it's plasma is the basically what they call the fourth state of matter. It's neither solid, liquid, nor gas. And by ecto, it means that it's something that living.
Something alive.
It's something alive. So it's basically an energy. It's plasma. It's not of the current state of matters that we know, and it's alive. So that basically defeats the purpose of like containing them, like what the Ghostbusters did, because you can't contain an alive piece of energy, or I don't know, maybe they have gear or whatever specialized for that. But we're not gonna talk about Ghostbusters because the recent movie was shit. Anyway.
Also, ghosts are said to be souls, manifestations of souls that are still trapped in
The mortal realm?
yeah, in our plane of existence. People who have not yet, who have passed away but not moved on, and they continue to haunt the places where they frequently went to the most, or places that they loved, or most usually the places where they met their end. So that's the most common description of what we call ghosts.
They can also be like, the stone tape theory.
What's that?
Uh, that's when stones, trees, basically the living environment records emotions, memories, and all that. And every time you go through a certain spot, like for example, in the forest or something, that last memory of a dead person would play, and then you see something, could be a ghost or an apparition, etc.
So, well, that theory is actually really fucked up.
Yeah,
It's like everything around you, the environment, the trees, stones, everything records some sort of signature.
yeah.
Any event that occurs there, especially events that have some sort of high energy signatures,
High energy or high,
high
emotion.
emotions, stuff like that. Like, say for example, somebody got murdered in that spot. You feel there's basically the energy of the murderer exacting his desire or her desire,
And the
also
energy of the
energy
victim.
of the victim. Yeah. So a lot of these energies sort of stay with the things or the living things around them, and they sort of manifest again as a way of, I guess, some sort of pseudo communication.
I think these are the ones that what they call ghosts wanting justice. They might be an explanation for that sort of phenomenon. Yeah. So, guys, this episode tackles on what are ghosts. We talked about that earlier. Sorry for just saying this now. There's also some events we've heard, experienced, or whatever that led us to believe that there might be some things in this world that are not of this world. I think you guys get that because again, the Deep End podcast wants to connect with you guys via things that are not really explained or can't
Well,
be explained properly, and we want to share as our experiences on these topics as well. So again, let's start. AJ, if you have any ghostly topics or whatever that you want to share, please do so.
okay, so we're gonna start with our experiences, right?
Yes, experience.
I had this one-time experience in Bliss, Pag-asa.
Somewhere here in the Philippines.
Yes, here in the Philippines. We have buildings. They were built back in the 80s, so these buildings are really, really, really old. I go through a group of buildings as a shortcut back to our home. This was nighttime, and then again, there's this theory where you find things because you're actively looking for them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like theory for the number 23, for example.
Okay.
You're always counting things and finding them. Back then, I was not thinking about that. I was just thinking of dinner because I was hungry. One time, I got into the middle of a building. There was no lights. There was a light on the end
Okay.
part, the stairs. As I got along, this shape of a small boy.
Mm.
It's not like a black or white thing, right? Like that normal ghost thing. It's just an outline of a boy.
All right.
Sort of like its energies distorting light. You know how that looks.
What?
Okay.
You can still see through it, but the outline of a boy is
Yeah, it's
distorted.
It's like sort of transparent, like the Predator. In
Kind of it, yeah.
Yeah, like
that.
if it's using some sort of cloaking technology or something.
Yeah. It was like that. This outline of a boy, and this is a little bit funny story actually, but it was creepy, man. It was dark,
Mm-hmm.
and I had glasses on, so I know what I'm seeing, right?
Okay.
So I see this spirit, and I was walking a little bit too fast. So what happened was
Who wouldn't fucking walk too fast if you fucking
no, but
at that time you didn't.
I was actually walking really fast, and then I
Okay.
suddenly see this form,
Mhm.
and it looked like it was walking a little bit slower than me. So at that point, I thought I was going to hit it.
Oh, you're gonna collide with it.
So, like split second, I was wondering if I'm going to stop.
Mm.
If I were to stop, it might see me.
Mm.
So maybe I could go around him, but then again, he might notice me as well. So what I did was I just walked through him.
What the fuck? Seriously? So you passed through the boy?
Dude, I closed my eyes and just prayed that he wouldn't, see that as rude.
Oh, man, that's
And then, so I got through him, I opened my eyes, and then I never looked back.
of course you won't look back.
If you look back, you're probably
And-
gonna get eaten.
There are these stories where people experience like ghosts and stuff, and they feel cold and stuff like that. I didn't feel anything like that,
Mm.
but I saw it. It was real. After that, I told that to my mom, and she told me to go to church.
I would I would explain that as some sort of trick of the light,
Mm-hmm.
but the fact that you said that it was sort of walking along with you, and you were on a path where both of you would collide, you can't just dismiss that as a trick of the light. Now I'm going to be upfront about this. I have not experienced any supernatural or ghostly. I've not seen any ghostly
Any
apparitions,
encounters at all?
anything like that. There are times when I felt scared when I'm walking alone in the dark. Suddenly the light goes off, stuff like that. But seeing something like a manifestation of the supernatural in front of me, I have not experienced anything like that. So I'm very skeptical about these kinds of things. But there are a lot of these personal stories, just like AJ's, and they're sort of similar because I have a lot of friends and I've heard a lot of similar stories. So that sort of lends a bit of a credibility to it. I'm not saying that I don't believe you. It's just that I find it hard to believe for myself, that these kinds of things could happen. But does do those buildings have some sort of history, like because sometimes they some people attribute it to history.
Yeah.
Like if something happened there, or if there's a specific person who sort of haunts that area.
I asked that. A friend of mine asked that actually if people were killed there, but I have no. There's no history there.
Any murder, any crime.
The murder part, I'm not so sure. There are because it was a form of a kid, so.
Yeah, but of course, people could die anywhere,
Yeah,
right? So
maybe a kid died there.
precisely, or maybe a kid was used as a part of the foundation or something.
Yeah,
Remember, there's
that's,
those kinds of stories, right? Like when they used to
Philippine
build
theater.
build buildings, like
Yeah.
really big structures. What some people would do is they take the homeless
Yeah,
and just like put them in the foundation.
and that theater in
Yeah.
Manila, they were trying to build it fast, and then something broke, I guess, and
Oh,
a lot of construction workers. I can't remember that theater.
Oh, all right. So
That was Marcos era
so it collapsed and it killed a lot of
people, and
People.
instead of cleaning or helping people, they just poured cement on it.
Cemento?
Yeah.
Like cement?
Do you know that theater
Mm-hmm.
in Manila?
In Manila? I have a weird story about that.
Okay.
So, there's a tradition with us friends that we walk from UN Avenue. Yes?
I thought there's a tradition when you build buildings, you put people
People
like
in-
people in the foundation.
No, there's actually a lot of things that have. So, okay, anyway, so it's weird because in every Good Friday, we do the what we call the alay lakad. Well, we don't usually do it. A lot of people here on Good Fridays walk from church to church, whatever. We walk from UN to MOA.
What is alay lakad like? Is it like some sort of parade, or is it some
No,
sort of?
this time, usually an alay lakad is like a kind of like a parade or a sort of penitence.
Oh,
Penitence, okay. So it's our only source of penitence like that.
So it's
just friends.
an act of penitence where
Mhm.
you participate in this.
Mm.
You
In this
walk
religious
like this
event,
great
yes.
distance. Okay.
So that time we were just with friends. I was with my girlfriend, and we got to that theater.
Yeah.
The Manila something theater.
They all can't remember.
So we were walking there, and suddenly there's this guy following us. So we only have one girl, which was my girlfriend, and we decided to form a circle around her.
Okay.
So we picked up a lot of people to get with us. There were like seven guys, one girl. We picked up stones. I myself readied myself for any shit that might happen.
Yeah.
And suddenly, after we picked up the stones and stuff, when we looked back, the guy was not there. And there was no possible way that the guy could have made a right turn because the right turn was all fields. And the left turn, if he went
left, we'd still see him, right? So he just disappeared.
So it's basically a wide expanse of land. You can see
If
on
this
all
person-
directions. If
Mhm.
this person who was closely following you disappeared,
we would
you would
him.
see him wherever he ran to.
Mhm.
And what time did this happen?
This was around 1 a.m. or 12 midnight.
But it's
Around
dark, so he could
It's
have
dark.
hidden somewhere. Or
No,
something.
there were lights. There were
Oh,
lights there.
okay.
So it's the street near the CCP complex.
Mm.
So it has lights all around. So we got to the spot where that abandoned theater was, and that just happened. For some reason, the guy following us just disappeared.
What did they look like?
We can't see.
Is it just one person?
It's just one person.
It's kind of stupid. Why would you follow 7 guys with 1 girl and you're just alone? What
Yeah.
do you hope to accomplish?
He was just looking down. We can't see his face.
Yeah.
He was just walking, and right after that, we were so conscious of the guy that when we turned back to our route, we were in front of the building.
Oh.
Not even joking. There were 8 people there who experienced the same thing.
Mm.
That's just fucked up. And we, prior to that, we were joking, oh, let's go to the theater, abandoned theater, let's do some urban exploration on that shit.
No.
No, so yeah, no. That suddenly changed our minds. That whole experience with just one freaking thing that happened changed the minds of 7 guys and a girl to going into an abandoned, death-filled place. So it's just so fucked up. These paranormal happenings, these ghost sightings, are really, really, really interesting because you can't explain it. No
Yeah.
matter how hard you try, you can't explain it.
Mm.
And the question is, what can a ghost do to you? Right? They can eat you because it's not a creature. It can possess, then eat you because it will start eating itself or yourself or whatever. And I don't know, what are ghosts famous for? Like showing up on a place, then disappearing immediately? It's so weird. But
They scared the shit out of
yeah. And I think they're not in the mentality, oh, I'm gonna scare these fucking people.
me. They just show up, right?
Yeah, they just show up.
I
for
think
some
it's
reason.
if again, if ghosts were real,
Yeah.
I would think that they'd be so depressed because you know how we enjoy things in life, like say for example,
Eating.
I enjoy eating. The simple fact that I could eat, I'm very thankful for that. You know, like the act of experiencing flavors in your tongue, the act of swallowing food. That's very satisfying
And that's very human.
and very human.
It's life-centric.
Say, for example, your consciousness gets detached from the body, and you're no longer able to experience these things, these simple pleasures. I think it for an extended time, I think that would drive you insane, and you would just want to cause. You'd be jealous of people who could still eat, who could still talk to other people,
Mhm.
who could breathe.
Even interaction, I think.
Yeah.
The simple not being able to interact with anyone,
Mm-hmm.
and that need for attention.
But the argument to that is, if you no longer possess a living body, then you might not experience the necessity or the need for these things.
But that's what makes possession great. They can
Uh,
possess people just so they can experience these things as well. What the fuck? That was so creepy.
Can you imagine a state of being where you don't breathe, like the sensation of inhaling and exhaling air? I think that would drive me insane. Not to be able
Not
to
feeling
breathe.
anything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Or not
you're
being
just
able to do anything.
you're just this You no longer have the organs.
You can't even see that you exist.
Yeah, there you go. Because nobody acknowledges you. The point of your existence is meaningless. So, I think that's, if ghosts are real, they could be experiencing that.
And maybe them showing up in front of people is like their way of like reaffirming that I once was important, or I want to be noticed again. And which is a bad thing, because there are a lot of ghost stories that tell you that if you see something, ignore it. If you can't explain it, ignore it, because once you are like conscious of it, you're gonna get more and more conscious until that third eye, quote unquote, opens up, and you will regret ever noticing that entity.
That sort of makes me feel bad for those. There's this Japanese in-car video of a taxi guy. I think, do you know this?
I've seen a lot.
Yeah.
Go on.
There's a view for the front, and then there's
The rear view mirror.
the rear view. So you know, if you can see the
Passenger.
passenger.
Yeah.
So Japanese guy, taxi driver, sees this woman in white. Very typical.
Yeah.
Not like Sadako white.
Oh, yes, yes.
But like office person.
Okay.
But the scary part is, you can't see her face. Just hair and stuff. So the taxi driver stops. The door opens at the back. No one gets in.
Okay.
But then, when the taxi driver stops, the passenger is out of view already from the front camera.
Oh, shit. Okay.
So, he gets out, checks everything, there's no one there.
What about the chances that this video was staged?
From a movie, right?
Like some sort of viral marketing for a new horror flick or something. But there is.
There might be.
Remember this clip? I think you might have seen this as well.
Yeah.
Since I feel that, just like me, you like lurking in YouTube.
Yeah.
Because I lurk in YouTube a lot.
Me too.
There's this video where, oh man, I'm just getting goosebumps right now. It's also a taxi video, right?
Mhm.
But it's sort of a surveillance camera video from some sort of restaurant or something.
Yeah.
It was looking at the parking lot, and this taxi was gonna pick up a passenger, right? So this man, he was in a hurry. He gets in. Back door, right?
Yeah.
Now, as he was opening the door, suddenly this woman was behind him.
I think I saw that.
It just appeared. It did not. The woman did not have legs, and it got inside the taxi with him. It was
What
like
the fuck?
it was like simultaneous.
Do not do that when I'm trying to meditate.
It was like simultaneous. Like he was opening the door, right? The moment he opened the door, the woman just sort of appears like 2 steps from behind him, and
It came from behind him.
and it was like in a rush as well to get inside the taxi. So it was simultaneous. It's as if they were together.
Because right when the door closes, that's when the woman gets into.
So it's like it was a very strange video. I'm not sure. Of course, it can be staged. Just like any other video in the internet, it can be staged. But this one in particular is so simple. It's such a simple video that and the whole aesthetic of the video sort of lends credibility to it, because it's a grainy video, grainy surveillance camera, very low quality. but it really sent goosebumps.
And what makes it look staged or anything like that? You always say that, right? But every Japanese ghost looks the same. They're like doing you can't see their faces.
Yeah,
Just hair.
you can't. It's
a
as
lot
if
of
they're. It's as if they're ashamed of themselves.
it's like the Sadako. What's that? It's like their normal ghost. That you can't see
Yeah.
their faces.
I think this is the they call it the Yurei
Is it?
or the vengeful spirit. Yeah, it's always almost always depicted as a woman with long hair and with the face or with the eyes cast down.
Yeah.
You know, and of course, what this thing does is it haunts people and causes them harm. Sometimes via accidents, or it could be direct.
That's the thing. If it's direct, why aren't they doing it common or as common as possible?
I don't know. I have no explanation for that other than maybe something is opposing these things from doing as they wish. Maybe there are barriers that they just can't, easily break through, or maybe it's all just a trick of the mind.
Spoken like a true skeptic.
Like a true skeptic. I think trick of the mind is stretching it too far, because if it is a trick of the mind, it means that your mind is going insane. Right? Seriously, those are things that can't be explained by the mind.
The reason why I cannot dismiss ghosts so casually is because this is a belief that generally exists almost in every culture.
Yeah.
So even during ages where these cultures did not meet or did not have any chance to influence each other, there have been what is that? A record or records of these things being present. Basically, maybe through fables, maybe through stories.
Parables, even.
Yeah, but these things exist in almost every culture in the world, and that sort of raises the believability factor for this
Yeah.
one.
Because even
Quite high.
Even, our ancestors have seen them.
Yeah, there are records.
Records.
And a lot of people back then believed that ghosts come back because they want to see their loved ones. So there are even like the Halloween on South America. A lot of them celebrate as the Day of the Dead. Where
It's not
they-
like Mexican.
I think it's Mexican. Yeah, it's some
Day of the Dead.
So they even do like take the what do you call this, corpse or whatever, and just party with them. Or
Oh yeah, there's that I forgot from what tribe is that or something, that they actually party with the corpse of the people who died, like
That's-
newly dead people.
yes, and if they believe that the souls are still there, so they might have credibility. Or no, that's not just. It's so hard to explain. Again, the essence of Deep End Podcast is to share to you guys things that can't be explained, because you guys, our friends, might be able to discover and create a solid, what do you call this, hypothesis or theory on just how ghosts or what ghosts really are.
Oh, and don't hesitate to share that with us, of course. And also, if you have any interesting stories to tell, do let us know.
Yes. The comments. So before everything, we're gonna share more ghost stories with you. We're
Yeah.
gonna try to keep up and like do rapid successions right now. I have this one ghost story. It's
Okay.
quite what do you call this? Short. So we're
Wait.
Mhm.
Before you tell this, is this a personal story?
Yes, this happened to me directly.
Okay.
Okay, so I studied in the University of the Philippines. You knew that, right? I studied there. So one time, I got off class late,
Hmm.
and I was in the fourth floor. So as I was walking down, I need to go. The classroom where I was in was in the middle of the floor. I need to walk a bit so I can go down.
Ah.
So I was walking and I passed someone. He looked like he was studying.
Alright.
He was just studying, reading while walking. So I don't know why he got or took the other way, the knee.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's still possible that we can go through that place, he appeared on that part. You can just go down there. Okay. So this is one of those things that I can't explain. You know why? So when I was near the stairs, I just looked back, and he was still walking. Then one of the classroom lights blinked out, and he wasn't there anymore.
Why did you look back?
Huh?
You're not supposed to do that.
I was about to go down, so I want to reaffirm just where he's going.
Where the guys go?
So I looked back, and when one of the lights that illuminate the whole floor went out, he's just not there anymore. I was supposed to still see him, just a silhouette of him.
The silhouette, right?
Mm-hmm. And he's just not there. And I just ran down because I don't want to think about the idea that if the lights come back on and he comes
Appears.
back.
Oh shit. Okay.
I don't like that.
Well,
And that building is so infamous for the ghost
I
sightings.
see.
And it's so fucked up. Another thing is on that same building, it's near the stoplight. One of my friends went to joyride in UP. And he just went around and stuff. And suddenly, of course, they were testing their metal. They screamed like, "Ooh, there's no ghost here, blah blah blah."
Okay.
And they were stopped by the stoplight. It was around past midnight. They were just in UP because one of their friends stayed in the dorm there. Okay. So they just went around. When they get stopped by the spotlight, when they provoked that realm. So remember the dashboards of a car, usually the lights are green. Suddenly there's a power failure on the stoplight.
Okay.
Their car broke down, the locks can't move, and this green spotlight turned red.
On their dashboard.
Yeah, the dashboard lights turned red.
Damn, man.
And just after a few seconds, it went back normal. Then it just sped off. Nobody talked with each other.
What car is this?
Maybe it's a malfunctioning car.
Together with the stoplight?
It is
And
possible
everything?
that.
What a coincidence!
But that part
man.
where they can't open the doors.
And the
That's
part where they
different.
can open the door, that's
Is-
supposed to be manual, right?
Are these power doors?
No, and no. It doesn't have child lock or whatever. This is like an old-fashioned car.
Oh, okay. Because
So-
I was thinking maybe it's some sort of electromagnetic pulse or something that caused a failure on the
EMP.
electronics.
Are
and
you
shit.
serious? In a school,
But
there's
wait,
EMP
I'm-
wave?
Wait.
I'm just saying there are a lot of even magnetism is a sort of it's a form of mystery as well. Like you really can't explain it, to be honest.
And this is
What
weird.
if something like that happened? You can't rule that out.
Well, yeah. But here's what's weird. Explain the dashboard thing, man.
The dashboard. Maybe
Green light to red light. No, that doesn't happen.
Hey, maybe warning lights. You don't know. I mean, sort of catastrophic electronic failure on the car, and then all green lights turn to red. You know, just like in the movies and shit.
Yeah, but warning lights are fewer than.
God damn it.
And also, if it was an EMP, everything would have died.
Yeah, everything dies.
Nothing
in an
like
EMP.
it won't turn red. Just black.
Yeah.
Everything black.
Also, these same guys, I don't know why they keep fucking going back to UP.
We might do that one day.
You know how butterflies are. They say that butterflies carry the soul of a dead person.
Or yeah, it's some sort of
A carrier.
spiritual communication device for the dead.
So, three of them and a girl were walking.
Yeah.
So they were trying to scare themselves silly. Blah, 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 blah. Suddenly, a butterfly just showed up. Seriously? Okay, so the aircon stopped. At the moment that I'm about to say about, I'm about to. Just let me turn this on. Anyway,
If it goes off again, I'm gonna kill you.
is that when they were walking, there were four of them, right?
Yeah.
They were walking. So then some butterfly showed up. Then one of them what do you call this? Pointed at the shadows, their shadows in the ground.
You don't do that.
You know why he pointed? There are four of them, but with the butterfly there were five shadows.
God damn.
Why the fuck do you go to UP and
Maybe,
scare yourself?
Let me give you
Shitless.
an explanation for that. It is possible that there's another light source nearby
That what looks like a guy
no
walking with them?
no.
Oh, you mean like giving two shadows?
Yes, giving one of them two shadows
And
instead of
if
one.
if that's the case, then the shadow should have branched off with another person.
But it
Yeah.
should have been like 10 shadows, not just 5.
Yeah, and 10 shadows. And one of the shadows should be lighter than.
What
than-
I'm saying is
yeah.
maybe the other four shadows are overlapping with each other because
But
they're,
the
near.
source. Can you explain the source? Why
Yeah.
it's not from one person?
the thing is, if there's two sources of light, one of the shadows would be some sort of a different shade.
Mhm. It's lighter. It's supposed to be lighter.
Yeah, but in this case, was it?
No.
Is it like another
and
person walking?
It's
with
another
them?
person walking with them together with the butterfly.
Mm.
This is some fatal frame shit. It's not. These things are not
Maybe it's a trick of the mind.
possible.
It must have been a mass hallucination.
They all ingested mushrooms or something like that. That's so insane. And there are other. I've told you on an earlier episode about the mall ghost girl,
Yeah.
and that guy. I told you that he didn't like go back to the malls for quite series of time.
Okay.
So, what I didn't tell you was he was actually one of those that got followed.
Oh, it follows.
It follows.
Did what followed it? Like the girl that didn't have.
No, it's not only a girl. Maybe
A lot of-
being in contact with that girl, bumping,
Yeah.
and
Oh, yeah.
just opened some weird shit.
Now, for people who are not familiar with the story, what John is saying is that he has a friend who went to the mall one day and bumped into a girl. Now, as he looked around, he saw one of the clerks looking at him strangely. Now, when he approached the clerk backed away from him, and she told him that, or rather, he asked the clerk, what's the matter? And the clerk replied that you bumped into someone you shouldn't have. So basically, this person, or John's friend, bumped into an apparition of a girl with no legs.
He wasn't even thinking about an apparition. He was like, "Oh shit! Did I bump with like this a child of the CEO
Oh yeah,
of the
there's
mall?"
someone important. or
Yeah,
something.
someone important. But when the clerk told him that he bumped with a girl with no legs,
Yeah, the scary part about that story is not only the act of bumping with someone with an apparition, but the fact that some other person confirms it.
Confirms it.
it's another
That's
person.
fucking scary, you know? Like, somebody actually explains the
Mhm.
phenomena to you because they're that they can see it clearly. However, you experienced it briefly. But what you're telling us is that after this, it became sort of an open invitation for other
Yeah,
things
it's
to
like
happen to
a portal just slapped on the back of my friend. It's like what he did was he just came to terms with it. He's a strong-willed guy, but that changed him so much. He just came to terms with it. Fuck this, I'm gonna live with this.
Is he Constantine now?
No. But he does smoke a lot. That friend of mine, he's still like, what do you call this? Shows a happy face. But you know yourself that he looks like a drug addict because he's so paranoid.
Something broke.
Something just broke. And these things, these beings, they just like to break stuff. If you can remember the movie Insidious,
Yeah.
it's just once they know that, oh my god, this guy we can interact with it. He knows, so
He sticks
we
with you.
follow.
Yeah.
Because he knows.
Yeah.
That's the reason why I don't crave for one of my Chunibyo fantasies does not, or one of them will never have the idea of talking with ghosts. It's just insane.
I mean, it sounds cool, but if it's happening to you, it's not
But-
so cool.
It's not so
But you
cool.
plan on going on excursions, though?
I plan on going on urban explorations because I like ruins.
No.
No, seriously. I like ruins. I like exploring what happened to this, blah blah blah.
The thing is, if you say explore an abandoned building, say an abandoned apartment complex, sometimes it's just not.
Sane.
Sometimes it's just not worth. Yeah, the trip is not worth what you'll find. You know,
It's
like
not sometimes. It's probably a lot of times.
sometimes here's what's gonna happen during your excursions. It's going to be a series of disappointments. However, there is that one time.
Yeah, there will be that one time that we won't be disappointed, but we wish.
But you will regret.
Yes, we just wish that it was another disappointment. Because after that, if it happens, I'm gonna give all the rights to Promise and Podcast to Czar.
You see, we're talking about ghosts, right? But when we start talking about ghosts or beings starting to interact with people, then other things come to mind, like demons. Oh my god, yeah. There you go, demons. I have this friend who gave me
Demons?
no. I have a friend who was going to be a pastor.
Mhm.
I forgot what his religion was, but he was going to be a pastor. But he liked sex better, so that did not happen for him.
Yeah.
Now, he told me, in a matter-of-fact tone, that there are no ghosts.
Mhm.
That anything that tries to interact with you, any other worldly being, that's not a ghost.
It's a demon.
That's not human. That's not someone you know. That's not someone you used to love. Whatever that thing is.
It's not somebody that you used to know.
I think this is a song. But yeah, basically what he's trying to say is that these are demons. And they like
Fucking
things.
up with your mind.
No, they like things that look like humans.
Mhm.
Like, say, for example,
Mannequins.
holy images.
Mhm.
They love that shit. And statues. They love that. So I asked him, because I collect a lot of toys, right? I asked him,
Did they like Gundam?
do they like toys, though? Because I have, my wife collects these miniature figures, dolls, sometimes. And he said, do you sleep in the same room as these things?
Oh, shit.
So I was like, yes. And Remember? Oh god. Okay, so remember I have a chair in my room, right?
The same chair I always sit on?
Yeah, that chair.
Oh.
No. I don't, like I said, I don't have.
Any experiences yet?
Yeah, I don't have any of those confirmed experiences, right? But it never pays to be.
Extra careful.
It never pays to be extra careful. Yeah, you have to be extra careful all the time. So, what I do is I always put something in that chair when no one is sitting at it, because there was this one time when because I usually have the chair pointing at the TV because I play games, right? Whenever I work, that's where I work. There was this one time when the chair was pointing at me when I woke up. It's like it was positioned in the way that if you sit on the chair, it's like you'd be observing me while I was sleeping, and that was strange because my wife hasn't come home yet. She works late, so I just had to put stuff in that chair whenever I sleep from that day forward. Yeah, that's I guess the extent of my.
Well, that's creepy as fuck. You know why?
Yeah, why?
Because things that hold material objects from our realm, these are beings, or these are things that want to interact, and anything that's not from this realm that wants to interact with you is definitely bad.
Yeah.
And another creepy thing.
Yeah.
Because the behind that chair are the toys.
Yeah, we have a ton.
Yes.
We have a ton of figures. But of course, when I look at these figures, I only see love. I'm not scared of the figures, but I'm scared of empty spaces. I don't like empty chairs. Also, I do not like mirrors. Usually, we have this huge ass mirror, and you also have a huge ass mirror over here.
We have a lot of mirrors at our house.
We have a lot of mirrors right now.
Remember when you visited my place, we have this what do you call
Mirror
it?
at the front of the fucking door.
Is it a dresser?
Yeah,
or
it's
is
a
it a
dresser
cabinet
mirror.
or something?
Dresser
Yeah.
mirror.
We have this cabinet with a huge ass mirror on it. I had that covered because I work late at night, and I used to work right in front of the door, so I could see straight. I could see my own reflection working on the mirror. So it's kind of unnerving, especially when I'm working like 3 a.m. in the morning. It's like I don't really want to see myself, so I had that covered. It's unnerving. Mirrors are unnerving. I can't explain why. Does this tie into ghosts?
Yeah.
Do you have similar?
There are always reports of people like going in front of a mirror, then some doing something, then the mirror doesn't do what they do,
Or like you see something.
or you see something
At
else.
the periphery of your eye.
Yeah, it's so fucked up. Mirrors are really not good for the heart. Seriously. We have this huge ass mirror as well in our house, and it's the one that can 360.
Oh,
It's like what they call it, the one used
Full-length
by
mirror.
full length mirror, the ones used by tailors and stuff.
Yeah, you could actually like rotate it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I don't like it at all. So once it rotates and it shows a different scenario, it's just
But of course, that hasn't happened yet.
yet. Don't say yet.
But it kind of looks, big mirrors. They kind of feel like portals to me.
Yeah, it's so.
It's like a portal, especially the full body ones.
Mhm.
So that's why I don't really like mirrors.
And it's reversed. But I think we're gonna make a mirror only episode, like the mirror realm or whatever. Yeah, there are a lot of stories about the mirror realm. It's one of the topics in creepypastas, a lot
Yeah.
of of stories, personal stories about mirrors. There's fucking Bloody Mary who
Yeah.
needs a mirror for it to invoke, and it ties up with ghosts. I have a question. You
Oh.
said earlier that whenever you look at these figures, you just see love. Did you ask how they feel about you?
Pretty sure they're disgusted.
That's the most creepy pasta.
Well, yeah, especially what if they see you do the things you do.
The comfort of my own room.
Yes.
That's why you separate your office from your bedroom.
I think that's also one of the reasons why they don't attack you. Because, oh my god, they might use me. This guy might use me fucking shit.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's a different topic for the Wrong End podcast.
The thing that I gathered from all of these stories about ghosts is that a lot of them are similar. A lot of them are
That's what makes it creepy. It's so similar.
yeah, it's persistent. Like if these things aren't real, why have we not forgotten about them already? Like why haven't we moved on? Like we're already at the age where we can create virtual realms. We have virtual reality. We have computers. We have the internet. Shit like that.
Exoplanets.
Yeah, even we're gonna talk about that one of these days. But how come something as
mundane as
as
ghosts.
mundane, as absurd as a ghost, why does it still persist? Why does it still?
There are even like digital ghosts, right?
Oh, yeah.
So fucked up. Why do you?
Oh man, I don't. I kind of I laugh at it, but it's sort of scary if you think about it.
You know, you can laugh at it because it's like, oh fuck, this is absurd. But in the back of your mind, you're just praying, no, just no. Does please not happen to me.
Yeah, like a dead person talking to you, chatting with you, like a dead account, suddenly going active and chatting.
You know that there's a movie about that, like Unfriended.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Is that about it?
Fuck,
I have not seen that movie.
that's so fucking weird.
But is it about like is it that kind of ghost, like a social media ghost?
Yeah, the story about it. Here's a quick rundown. Spoiler, sorry everybody. So, there's a group of people. They bullied one girl
Okay.
into committing suicide.
Okay.
So after a while, there's suddenly this message on their Skype group that hey, and it's from the account of the
dead person.
and suddenly each of them dies in front of the screen
Oh,
one by
shit.
one.
I wouldn't even use Skype anymore, man.
You have meetings and
fuck meetings.
what would you do if someone just randomly adds you, hey, I can see you?
You know what I'm gonna do?
That's a bot.
I'm gonna uninstall Skype and ask my clients to contact me in
By
a
Facebook.
GoToMeeting. We have GoToMeeting. We have
Google
other
Hangouts.
Google Hangouts.
Google Hangouts. We have other avenues to to talk. Let's not use Skype anymore.
it's those things that persist until now. It's just so weird.
Remember that there's a similar story, but this happened in real life. You know, there's this train accident.
Okay.
And it's a huge train accident somewhere in South America, I think. Now, one of the victims' cell phone, his cell phone starts calling all of his relatives. Like, calling all of his relatives, man.
At the same time?
No, not at the same time. It's like, he will call one of his relatives. It will just ring. They'll answer, no answer, they hang up, and then it will call another relative. It's as if it's going through the phone book,
The list, yeah.
you know? Now, the explanation is he had all of his relatives in some sort of speed dial,
Ah, yeah.
and
Maybe he was just pressing it for some reason.
yeah, but he's already dead. He's already dead for like 6 hours or something. And it was so disconcerting because they already confirmed that there are like no survivors and shit, and yet the phone is still contacting them. That's so
It's so meta.
that's so for me. I'd just cry, if I was one of the relatives. I'd just fucking cry whenever I see my fucking phone ring. Because
and it's the name of
it's the name of my relative who just fucking died in that train wreck.
And it's weirder if they got a message, why aren't you answering sad face? Right? That's gonna be so fucked up.
But what are the chances of a phone going through the speed dial like that? I mean, how is that even possible? Even if you have all of your relatives on speed dial, even if it's an analog phone, say for example, how would you grip it in your hand, in your death grip? How would you grip it with your dying hand that it would actually, activate all of those speed dials? Or was it like an electronic malfunction? I don't think so.
No, I don't think so. And for
that's fucking insane.
if everyone died, from a crash, is it a train crash?
It's a train wreck. Yeah.
It's a wreck. So the phone should have been destroyed in the process.
Yeah, or it is possible that it could have survived. It's small enough. It can survive a train wreck.
But if the owner died, it means that he had a very serious body blow. And seriously, the phone can't have survived that shit. It's just too unexplainable.
Yeah, even if the phone survived, it's still hard to explain that shit. You can explain emails because some emails can be so you can set it up so that it will send at a later date. That's explainable. But phones, speed dial, how
would rescue teams be speed dialing phones on occasions like that if they find any?
No, they won't.
See,
there's no point for them to do that because they still have to rescue other people. Other possible
it's not their priority.
Yeah, you won't because this was happening while the news report was covering the crash. This was happening right there. So that's fucking insane. Oh, also
that's scary.
Also, let me set the topic for the next Deep End podcast. Something similar to this. Because I remember, you could actually set up emails, send out at a later date. Do you know Elisa Lam?
Oh my god,
who's that?
I like
Elisa Lam. Elisa Lam is a student who tragically perished in the Cecil Hotel, but the circumstances of her death are still a mystery as to how she died because they just found her inside the water supply.
Oh yeah, the water tank girl.
Yeah, the water tank girl. And the only thing that the police released to the public was that elevator footage. Now, the reason why I remember this, and I think it's very interesting, is because her blog was still posting after her death. But of course, she could have set that up to post, at a future date. But I just remembered, and I think it's I just remembered it because of that, and I think it's an interesting topic to talk about.
Let's put like mindfuckery on our next. Those things that can't be explained. We'll try to debunk them. Yeah,
I have been trying.
Yeah,
but it's really hard because there's no way for you to just disprove things. Because you can be stubborn about it. You can say this isn't real because there's no scientific explanation for it. But science can't explain everything.
Science can't even explain the meaning of life. How can they explain the meaning of death? I always come up with these like so good quotes, right?
And AJ, any closing remarks?
Closing remarks.
I'm excited for the next episode. Because I was actually waiting for that Elisa Lam.
Oh yeah, I think it's super interesting to talk about.
I've been, I think for a month, obsessed with that case. I've lurked like maybe 20 videos of it of other people trying to examine like what happened,
Yeah.
investigating.
The mere fact that the circumstances of her death are so mysterious, and the only footage that was released was the elevator footage,
Yeah.
and the hotel being the Cecil Hotel, which is which had a history of hosting serial
Lot of-
killers.
Yeah.
So it's like
Why stay there?
I think Black Dahlia stayed there.
yeah, there's even this rumor, the victim, the Black Dahlia girl, stayed there.
That
When,
is such-
when did this happen, Black Dahlia? That was a very long time ago, 1930s,
30s, I
1940s.
guess.
Yeah,
We'll talk a lot about that the next episode.
it's one whole episode about
Yeah.
Elisa Lam. And that's super interesting.
So anyway, as closing remarks, we want to thank you guys for supporting our podcast. If this or these kinds of contents pick your
Excite you.
brain, please let us know in the comments about what you think. And if you can just, if you can't hear us or can't be bothered for an hour to hear us talking, just pause it and remember the time signature and just continue on from there.
Yeah, return to the podcast.
We're not posting ads at the moment, so we just want to know what you guys think, and if you want to contribute stories to us, we're more than welcome to like help or read and interact with you guys. Okay, so again, this is John
And this is Czar.
And this is AJ.
saying that if it's real, it's probably not, but if it's not real, then it's probably not.
What does that even mean?
It's like a ghost coat. Yeah.
If it's real, don't look back.
If it's real, it's real. Dan, dan, dan. Dalan, dan.
No matter what you do, don't turn back. Just
Just
keep
don't-
walking.
Just keep
Just
walking,
don't.
guys.
Just keep
Just
walking.
keep walking.
Just don't.
If you feel something stupid behind your back, just keep walking. If you can run, just run.
Just run.
If no matter if it's a dog or whatever, if you can run, just run. It's not worth it to look
It's
back.
not fun, man.
It's not fun.
Thank you very much for listening, guys.
Alright, guys. See you next time.